to post your video and do your goals, and it was just a lot coming at you at once. So I think that once you start just doing your activity and just doing the daily thing that I post, and watch the webinar, I know it's a little bit of time, but I think it'll be really good for us. It just helps us. I think it just helps you to stay connected, because it's just like a team call. If you don't get on the team calls, you're not going to stay connected with something that you're not like, continuously being around the people that are doing the same thing as you. Hi, Jessica.
Hello. Have we started or what?
No, I was just talking about the group real quick, because I think Missy was jumping on. I don't think anybody else probably, but hopefully Missy I think was. What's up?
Okay. So I've been like MIA all day. I worked all day and I had a lunch meeting. Like I couldn't even work at lunch. I was kind of bummed. Anyway, what was our assignment today? Because I am like using that video as my personal development for today.
Yes, that's good. Mindy Winder. So watch the Mindy Winder video and then do your same thing. Just post and track your activity and then catch up on anything else you've missed, which I know you had gotten everything pretty much.
Okay, good. So I'll be caught up if I watch that video and post my tracker, which is pretty pathetic today. I'm not going to lie.
I know, but I understand. I was that way today too. Today's kind of stunk for me.
I'm getting a couple invites out before the end of the night. And I'm going to mute myself because my kids are fighting,
So that's why this call will be good for us too, even though I know it's a lot, because we did a team call last night and then tonight we're doing this leadership call, and it's just a lot. But we are building. Obviously, you guys who are on this call are wanting to run with this and do something with it, and you have a vision, and that's what I want to kind of talk about tonight. But whereas the team call is still good, you still got to keep interacted there, but hopefully we can kind of just connect more personally and maybe talk about struggles and different things, and I'll just share a few things with you. So real quick, I'll just talk for a little bit and then we can kind of go into some other stuff. But some of the things, like I want to bring you guys new stuff too. So I'll listen to a National Wake Up Call, or I'll listen to personal development or something to kind of get my mind like, running a different direction, a different way to kind of talk to you guys about stuff, because I have a vision. Like I know what my vision is. I wake up every day and I like have motivation to do this because I have the vision that, that's taking me each day and keeping me going. So you guys all need to have that vision. So maybe, and I think your vision will change. So, it might be one way now. I think my vision before was, I was a little unsure maybe when I started. I was unsure. And so I was thinking in my head, even though I didn't want to think negative, I was thinking, hi, Missy. I was thinking, can I really do this? Like, is this really something that I'm going to be able to do? Because we're programmed to have excuses, to like have a belief in your mind. Like we believe certain things. And I think the beliefs that are in our mind are a lot of the excuses that we have. So maybe you think you can't build this because you don't have time, because your husband's not supportive, because whatever it is, X, Y, and Z, you have all these things running against you, you feel like. So I think that sometimes makes us feel like we can't do it, or we're not going to be able to do it. And we don't want to push through all those excuses and all that negativity to get to something that we want and something that we're doing for ourselves, but we're also doing it for your vision. So whatever it is, your family, you want to, be able to do whatever the heck you want to do and not work the rest of your life at a job and be glued to the place that you're working at. So there's a lot of things I think that hold us back from doing this. And like I said, you guys have committed to do this, so I know you want to be here. But that you fear that you're going to be judged. So that's why a lot of the posts that you post on Facebook, sometimes it's hard to jump out of that box. Like Tammy said, she jumped out of her box. And, I think we know we've all done that already. If you've started this, it doesn't matter where you are right now, you've jumped out of your box in some way, because you've posted, you've shared something, you did the video to get in to do this group. And that's sometimes kind of hard when you haven't done them. I agree. So it gets easier, I promise, as you go. You just do it because it's just something practice makes, not perfect, but progress. So you got to keep pushing through, but it's your mindset that's going to get you guys to your vision and to keep you on track and to keep you motivated each day when you feel like totally giving up. So, and I think a lot of times you get that it is what it is. Like, I don't have the time and I don't have this and blah, blah, blah. And I have excuses. We all have them. But you kind of got to put a lid on those excuses, and almost unprogram those beliefs or that negativity that's coming at you, because you got to, like I said, you just got to have the vision. So, so I want you to think about this too. I listened to a National Wake Up Call this morning, and she said, if you couldn't fail at this, if you absolutely couldn't fail with this, what would you do with this business? So if there was just absolutely no way you would fail with it, what would you do with it? Because your mindset's going to be different if you know that you're not going to fail with this. And is that worth fighting for? Who is it going to impact in your life? So it's going to impact you, obviously. It's going to impact your family or future family. Someone said to me the other day, they said, you can either work now and play later, or you can play now and work the rest of your life. But anyways, I just thought that was kind of neat, because it's kind of like Dave Ramsey saying, do now what no one else, however he says it, do what no one else will, so that later you can do what no one else will be able to do, or whatever. But anyhow, so who is this going to impact? You're going to get up early. So whatever it is, you have to fight for this, basically. I've worked my tail off for 2 years, and it's just, it's awesome, because I, have a team now, and, I have my own little tribe, and it's just awesome because you guys know what it's like to get healthy and to feel that good about yourself. Maybe something that you haven't felt in a long time. And then to help somebody else feel that way is amazing, to have that positive reinforcement back to you saying, thank you. And when you did really nothing besides be there for them. I mean, we post in our groups, and we try to uplift anybody, and every day we do all those things, but really it's them doing it. You're just by their side the whole time. That's all you're doing. I mean, that's all. I mean, I know that's a lot sometimes, because we're pulled in all different directions, because you're keeping up with all these, if you have a couple coaches, you want to keep in contact with them, and you have your customers, and you don't want anyone to fall by the wayside, and you don't want to let anyone feel like you don't care about them. So it is a huge, huge job, but it's very simple, I think. And sometimes we take it out of, we make it feel like it's complex when it really isn't, but it is sometimes time consuming, but really what isn't, that's going to be worth it. So you have to kind of think about, is this worth fighting for? What are you going to do to fight for it? You're going to get up early. You're going to make those sacrifices. You're going to buy your summit ticket. You're going to, get to the next live event, whatever it is. But you have to decide, and I know you guys have, but, even for your future coaches, I think too, they have to decide. You have to make the decision that what are you going to do to fight for this? Share with those people what your vision is. So I think that's a huge piece of the puzzle on how to attract those like-minded people. So you're going to try to find the people that are going to, be your tribe, and they're going to have the same vision as you, but you have to share that vision on Facebook. And it's going to be in different ways. It's not like you're going to be in one post saying, okay, here's my vision and this is what it is, because like I said, I think your vision changes. You get better, you get more experienced, you feel more as a leader. So therefore your, I think vision just starts to change, and you might think differently about it than you did a month ago, or when you first started as a coach. Because I know because like I said at the beginning, it was like, can I really do this? And then now I know 100% that I can do this, but I know that it's going to be hard. And there's going to be days that I feel like that I'm not motivated, and I don't even know what to post on Facebook. Kind of like today, I'm exhausted. My mind is totally just, I've just had a crappy day. But anyhow, and I'm not feeling super motivated. So for me to post on Facebook some big inspirational thing is probably not going to happen tonight. But that's okay, because tomorrow I'm going to wake up fresh and it's a new day. So you got to just kind of take that stuff as it goes, because I think it's easy to get overwhelmed and just feel like, oh my gosh, I need to do this, and I got to watch that video, and I got to do my invites, and I need to post in that group, because, and it starts to kind of, I know Missy was frustrated last night because she couldn't get her video to upload, and just stuff like that you're like, oh, you feel like you're trying so hard, and then stuff's like going against you. and that sucks. I'm not cutting out or anything, am I? Am I cutting out? Okay. Because a couple of you were frozen, and I was like, oh, okay.
Right here.
So try to share with what your vision is. Try to share that, and you want to emotionally connect with those people on Facebook.
Gotta listen to Tabitha, so please go watch your show.
And they're going to emotionally connect with you because you're being vulnerable. So that, they're going to, because I think a lot of people feel lost that we don't know. We don't know they feel lost because they hate their job. They hate whatever it is in their life. They're stuck. They feel like there's just nothing else. They have that it is what it is mindset, that this is just what it is. I've been dealt this card, or these cards, and this is how it is. And they have no other vision. We have that. I know we do, and I know you, and maybe you don't have it completely. You don't completely have vision, but you have somewhat of vision. So imagine not having, imagine not wanting to do better for yourself. That you hate your life or your job. So I think we need to help those people, and they need to feel hope. Just like we know that. Oh my gosh, there's hope. There's I don't have to work forever. Like I can do something that I absolutely love, with people that I absolutely love by my side, and, just love every bit of it, and go to these fun events and travel and be flexible with my vacations and just do whatever we want to do. Anyhow, some people just don't. That's fine. Some people aren't going to get it. But what I'm saying is to share about things, to hopefully connect with some of those people that feel like that's it, that there's no other way out there. So I think that's going to kind of help you guys if you can find ways to post about that. And obviously that's not going to be done in one post.
Hey, go pick those up.
You're going to kind of post in different directions.
Okay, getting on my lap.
Of things, with that. But we all have the same 24 hours in a day. So it's just kind of up to you what you're going to do with it. And some days, like Jessica and Melissa, we talked yesterday, and it was like, some days you're just not going to get every little thing in. I mean, every day I feel like I don't get everything in that I wanted to do. I have like really high goals for my day. Like my standards are a little high sometimes. And so like if I have a day off, I get up and I think, oh my gosh, I'm going to do this. Like I have all these things I'm going to do, and they're way out of line. Like I shouldn't even dream that I'm going to one day, but I mean, you do what you can, and that's kind of all you can do. Give it your best. Push a little harder. If you know you can push harder, then do it. But if you feel like you're giving it your 100%, or close to it, and some days you're exhausted and it's a struggle. But
I said don't.
It's okay. Let me mute you guys. There we go. Okay, I think I muted you guys. And I'm about to wrap this part up. I just kind of want to do like an introduction, since this is our first call in this group, and and you just have to decide what you're fighting for. And I know everybody has something that they're fighting for, some reason that they're doing this. And I know you kind of told a little bit in your videos and stuff, so that's good. But you're going to continue to share that stuff on Facebook. And you might feel like right now, like, well, I don't have any coaches under me, or I don't feel very successful with this, so it's hard for me to share this and be like, oh, this business is great, and I'm blah, blah, blah. Well, you got to go downstairs. Okay. But that stuff will come. You just got to stick with it and keep going and just get through some of the beginning stuff with this. And you guys are doing great. You can sit here, but you got to be good, or you're going to have to go downstairs with Daddy. You have to be quiet. Okay. Because everybody's being quiet. Okay. So I know that I kind of posted in there, like, I know a few people were probably like, oh my gosh, this group's really strict, because she's like saying three strikes. You have to be quiet, or you have to go down. Okay. Because she's saying 3 strikes and you're out. But it's just a good thing to do to stay focused in this group, because it's going to help you. Just 1 second. You have to go downstairs with Daddy, okay? Yes, you have to go. Hey, Aaron. Go with Daddy. Go downstairs. You can play in the room. That's fine. I'll turn your light on. Okay, sorry. He might be popping right back in. I hope not, but so anyhow, I don't even know what I was saying. But this group is just going to give, I think, like I said, the push that we need. So one thing you guys could do tonight would be, if you haven't done this already today, and like I know I shared a transformation story this morning. I know Jamie shared one about Tammy, and so that was good. But maybe do a Transformation Tuesday picture of yourself, and it doesn't have to be before and after picture, but these posts really get a lot of attention because you can explain, and I tell my coaches this all the time, but you can talk about yourself before Beachbody. And you don't even necessarily have to say the word Beachbody because you don't want to be salesy. You can. It's fine. That's what we do. Beachbody's the company. There's nothing to be we don't have to hide the word. But, talk about how it was before. So maybe before you never thought about working out, or you didn't think you had time, or you didn't think you'd stick with it because you never stuck with anything else and you had failed at this and you'd failed at that. Whatever. Talk about the person. And I know some of you guys, haven't been in this super long, but that's okay because you still have had a transformation with starting this, no matter what. There's been something that it's done for you. Obviously, that's why you're here. So post about that. Talk about what it was before and then now today. And then you can do that call to action post, which these are great posts, especially at like 8 p.m., which I know it's almost 8, but you could post it at 8:30 or 9 tonight if you wanted. And it doesn't have to be before and after picture. Maybe just show a picture of you 3 years ago and talk about that girl in the picture 3 years ago. How was that girl? What was wrong? She was, maybe depression or whatever. And I'm not saying you have to go super deep with it, but you can. And someone's going to connect with that because you might hit them tonight or any other time you share it. And you might just hit them not correctly, but what's the word I'm looking for? Just right. So that they, are going to maybe feel the way that you felt 2 years ago or a year ago or whatever you're sharing. And then talk about yourself today. And you're not perfect, but every day's not perfect. But, here I am and I'm, in the best shape that I've ever been in and I'm blah, blah, blah. Those posts are great. I would encourage you to do one tonight. It's Transformation Tuesday. You can call it that. We know it's way more than a physical transformation. It's a mental transformation too. So your post could be about that. It doesn't have to be a physical transformation. But I would encourage you to do that tonight. So that's something you can do. That would be good. And then I want to just open it up to kind of talk a little bit because that's about all I had. I just wanted to introduce with that and I want you to be thinking about your vision and I want you to be thinking about the things that you would do if you knew that you weren't going to fail at this. And I don't think any of you will fail with this, but we've talked about this, but I know the two things that will keep you in this and keep you going and will make you successful is consistency and patience are both the two things that you're going to need to keep going with this. Because we know that it's not hard, it's hard, but it's simple. What we do is pretty simple. It's just about consistency and sharing and continuously reaching out to people and trying to make those new connections and just, sharing every day you can, every time you can, with anybody new you meet. So I'll open it up. I'll unmute you guys or just unmute, I guess, if you guys want to. And just what do you guys want to talk about? Did everybody order their book that we talked about? Yes. Okay, good. And I don't know I know there's a couple people, maybe, I thought a lot more people I know a lot more people are in the group. But guys, you're going to have to go out. What's that? I know a lot more people are in the group, but anyways, I'm going to give people a few days to kind of catch up with the beginning stuff. And then we'll just see how it goes. But what are you guys, is there something like invites? I know we talked about a lot of this last night. I'm going to a different room, okay? Because you guys aren't being quiet. I know we discussed invites too and some other things like for Power Hour last night. Okay. You have to be quiet if you're going to be in here, okay? I didn't know if there was something else that we need to discuss and cover. Anything else you guys can think of?
Hello.
Anything? You guys need to say? Yes, go ahead.
Okay, so I think I'm a little confused on what exactly is considered an invite and really how do you even go about doing it?
Okay, good question. Um, okay, so basically an invite is just you're inviting someone to a challenge group, or you're inviting somebody to a clean eating group, or anything that we're running on Facebook. I'm so sorry. Go downstairs, please. Hey, Aaron, can you get them, please? Go downstairs. I'll talk to you in just a minute, okay? I'll talk to you in just a minute. But basically an invite is just anything that you're inviting to a group. So that's usually, I say new people, but it doesn't necessarily have to be somebody new. It could be somebody you've already talked to, but maybe you haven't talked to them for a month. So you're going to invite them to your next group. So you're just sharing about it. That's it. Or you can call, even if you share about Shakeology and you talk to them about Shakeology, that's technically an invite because you're inviting them to try it. So that's what we say by that. And the reason that's one of the vital behaviors. But when we track and we post and Eat That Frog, or when you guys are going to be posting in this group, invite is the number one thing you're going to be doing. That's how you're going to get people involved. But we kind of like shorten some of those, like form. And I know you probably remember this from the 14-day video, but forming, is the warming your cold market up. So that would just be a message like, hey, how's it going? I haven't talked to you forever. I saw your picture on Facebook. Your kids are so cute, blah, 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 blah. And then you're not even talking about Beachbody because you're just kind of trying to talk to them. So you want to keep I keep a lot of people in my circle. I talk to a lot of people like on a daily basis. Today, not so much, but I did respond to all my messages. But I like to keep at least I don't even know, 20, I'd say around 20 to 25 people I'm constantly talking to at one time. And you could do 15. They say at least 10 to 15 people you want to kind of keep in your circle that you're talking to. It depends on your goals. It depends on what you're wanting to do with this, and how you want to go about that. And at first, I don't know how many. I think I've always talked to probably that many people since I've started. But the more people you talk to, obviously, the more exposure and the more it's amazing how you could have somebody who's like totally not interested, but you follow up and you're constantly posting. So they're seeing your posts. So it's not out of nowhere. And then you go to follow up with them. And then it's just the timing's just right. So they're ready to jump on it. They're ready to go for it. So does that kind of answer your question? It could be anybody that you're sharing with, but each invite is different. So I never recommend doing the copy and paste thing. I really don't. I don't like it. If you're, I guess it's a simple invite and you're like, hey, how are you? Did you see my post about the clean eating group or something like that? You could do something like that as a copy and paste, but to me, I just like to really personalize it to that person. And, each person's different, so you're going to have to change it up. So I might throw in there, I like to do a little small talk at the beginning, like, hey, how are you? I hope you're having a great summer. I can't believe we're already into August, our kids are blah, blah, blah. Like going back to school, you can bring that up. And then I go in, I go in with it. Hey, I was just wondering, I know we had talked before. I'm getting ready to start my new group. It starts August 15th. It's an awesome way for, a bunch of ladies to stay on track, to post their workouts, to share recipes, to motivate and encourage each other to just keep going. We all pick a workout program. It's typically only 30-minute workouts. It comes with an eating plan and, whatever. Sometimes I don't go into all that, but then at the end, I will always say, does this, would this be something you're interested in? Or is this better timing? Like, is this a better time for you to start? Question mark. You always want to end in a question mark. If you don't end in a question, they will be most likely to not respond to you. I almost guarantee it, because they're thinking, because if you say, let me know, they're just like, they read it and they're like, okay, I'll let her know. Well, I'll let her know whenever I want to let her know because she just said that. But if you end in a question, they feel almost like that urgency of like, okay, I need to respond to her. Now, not always, because I do it all the time and I get like a ton of non-responses. But that's okay because I know they read it, and that's what you got to do. You're still getting it out there and planting those seeds. So does that answer your question? Does that?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Thanks.
Because it's kind of a broad, I know it's somewhat of a broad thing, really. It's a broad topic because, some of them are brand new and some of them you have to warm before you do the invite. And some people try those cold invites. Sometimes they work. Honestly, some people are let's cut to the chase kind of person. I'm kind of that way. I don't really want to, I'm not saying I don't want to chit chat with you, but I just cut to the chase. Like, if you want to invite me to something, do it. And I don't feel like it's salesy, because I don't feel like the way we go about it is salesy. So I don't really think that, I mean, in their mind, if someone thinks it's salesy with an invite of you just explaining a group, because I've actually lately been doing an invite, and I'll say, I'll say, hey, you know, we're running this accountability group, and I'll kind of explain briefly what it is. And then they're like, yeah, I'm interested. That sounds great. Well, then when I go to tell them that, you know, because they're like, yeah, how does it work kind of thing. Then I'm like, okay, well, everybody picks a program, you know, we all drink Shakeology, da 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 da. Then they're kind of like, I don't really have the money for that, blah, blah, blah. So I have found that if I do an invite and I specifically say from the get-go, like, I specifically say what it is that I'm doing with a little bit more detail. Like, I'm running this accountability group that starts August 15th. We do 30-minute workouts with a variety of workouts. We have a color-coded eating plan that's super easy to follow. We share recipes, and we all, you know, you can bring up Shakeology. It just depends. You got to kind of mess with it. But I've found that if I do, it almost sounds like, I don't want to say intriguing, but they're just more interested because they're like, oh, that sounds good. It's a 30-minute workout, and it focuses on upper, lower, cardio without weights, cardio with weights. I mean, sometimes I will go into detail to explain that, because, and then talk how great the group is. Like, I like to really emphasize the group and how, you know, it's a lot of moms, it's a lot of ladies, it's just a lot of women that are all trying to stay on track because we struggle, and we have a lot of fun with it. So I like to really focus on that, because that is what is getting them results typically, is the support from the group. And we have found with our challenge group that if we all stick together, we ran our separate challenge groups last month and they went fine. But I feel like this month has been really fun because we're back together. We did this for a few months where we were all, my Rockstar coaches and I ran the groups together. So we all added our people to them. And it's just, I don't know, there's something about it. I think I like to see posts from Jessica and Melissa's customers. They get to know my customers. It's like a big circle that, and then when we split them up last month, it was like we broke up kind of. So it kind of, which is good because I needed them. They needed to run their own group. They needed to try it because they had never really ran their own. And I know they could do it. I knew they could, but just for leadership purposes and to know that you can do that and that you're capable of it, you need to do that to branch out of your comfort zone. And so that's why I had them do that, and they succeeded with it, and it was good. And this month with some other things going on, and just we decided to run it again together. Regardless, the group is what is so successful about this too, I think. I mean, they have all the tools with the eating program and the Shakeology, but and us as their coach and the workouts, but it's just, the group is just something that nobody, I mean, I don't think, and they have to take advantage of it, because if they don't post in it, they don't interact in it, they don't take advantage of what the group can do for them, then they're not going to see it. And you're going to have a ton of customers who don't see it. They're going to buy the program. They're not going to do it. They're going to barely put the DVD in, and they've just totally wasted their money. But that's the way it is. I mean, you got to get over that, because that's going to happen. And you can still follow up with them, and they might be ready at a later date. In 2 months, they still have the program. You can still invite them to your next group and hopefully get them on board. Anyways, I got off on a tangent there, but anything else you guys are needing to cover before? We got about a little less than 10 minutes left.
I just wanted to mention a couple of things.
It's okay. I understand.
Okay, so 7:30 doesn't work any better. They're still going to scream and cry. One thing I do before I invite people, okay, do you hear me on the phone with other, look at all these people Mommy's on the phone with that are listening to you fuss and cry. Look at all these people. Can you please go in the bedroom and close the door if he's bothering you, and I'll come find you. One thing I do is I look at their Facebook page to make sure nobody has just dropped dead or something terrible, because I would feel like such a heel if I were like, hey, I would want you to be in my challenge group, and I'm like, oh my gosh, your grandma just died, I'm so sorry. That's one thing that I do that makes me feel a little bit better. And then I always find something to connect with them on, because I try to invite people that I know or I have formed, and a lot of times I don't want somebody in my challenge group, no offense, that's going to be super negative. Yes, I may reach out to somebody that's struggling But I always like try to mention something about their personality that I really like, and like, hey, I would love to have that energy in my group. And that just kind of helps you connect with them on a personal level. And you're not lying because that's how you feel about them, and you're being honest, and it's coming from like a real place. So that helps me get that invite to push send, because otherwise I kind of chicken out. But if I find something to compliment them on and say, this is why I would love to have you, or, you know, I know you're like super, you just kick butt, running your marathon, that kind of thing. So anyway, although I need to get better about sending out way more invites. So that's one place that I really like. But anyway.
Yeah, that's good. And I think too, like you'll come to a place where you will not care if somebody doesn't respond to you. I don't care. I never dwell on it. I don't worry about what I said because I know I'm coming from a good place. And if they took offense to something I said, then that's on them. If they took offense that I was saying that they were fat because I invited them to my 21-day fix group, then that's on them. That's a personal thing. And it used to get me down. You know, I used to be like, oh my gosh, I haven't got responses and maybe I'm wording this wrong, or maybe you are. Like, if you feel like you might be, send it to one of us and I'll honestly tell you what I think you need to do or what I would change. And that's fine. But most likely it's not necessarily what you're saying. But if they don't respond, you know, one of my friends told me one time, she said, you do not need them for your success. Like, you can't take it personal. They are not like crucial to your success. That it's not going to make you unsuccessful because they don't believe in what you're doing, or they don't support you, or they don't whatever. And so I always try to remember that, because I can be successful without the negative people, or without, and sometimes I think we think they're being negative in our mind because we're already thinking what they're thinking. Like, we're trying to guess what they're thinking, you know, because we know everything, you know, we know what's going on because we sent it. We know that they've assumed that we blah, 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 when they probably haven't. Who cares, for one, if they did, and, you know, maybe they just haven't had time to respond to you. So sometimes I'll have people too where I see they read it, and really 3 days later, they will finally respond to me, probably because I posted something and it sparked their memory. Oh, shoot, I forgot to message her back. I should message her back because it's just a nice thing to do. So most people are nice, but you're going to have people that are just like, they don't care, and that's fine. Because like I said, you don't need them to be successful. Hi, Jamie Wheeler. You're fine. I recorded it. I'll post the recording. You can listen to it. So anything else real quick? Well, we got about 5 minutes. I can't think. Jessica had some good stuff there, but I was trying to think if there's anything to follow up with what she said. One thing I do is like kind of investigate, like she said, you want to make sure they haven't had like a major loss in their family before you're like, hey, I'm like loving my new challenge group or whatever. So I like to go to this is one thing too that's kind of good you want to watch out for. You're almost like investigating on Facebook. So say one of your friends posts and says something about a workout they're doing. It's not even Beachbody related. They're not in Beachbody at all. But they post about maybe they've lost 5 pounds because they've been going to the gym. Okay, or they've been doing a class at the Y and they talk about it and they're like, yeah, I'm so excited, whatever. Okay, so that's great that they posted that. We can message them. What we're concerned or excited about is all the comments below. These people are commenting and they're like, oh my gosh, I wish I could do that, or I blah, blah, blah. Perfect opportunity to add these people on Facebook. Add them and then message them if you want. If they don't accept your friend request and you message somebody who is not a friend of yours on Facebook, it will go to another folder. So it won't actually go to, it kind of stinks because like if I get a message from someone I'm not friends with, it'll say you have one message request. Because I'm not friends with them, I have to okay that message before I can, you know, whatever, before I can respond to them or whatever. I have to okay it. Anyhow, so you want to try to add them on Facebook and get them to accept. And I know that seems a little stalkerish, but not really, because if they've just said like they wish they could do something, maybe you could say, because you're friends with that person. So you could say, hey, I saw your comment on such and such page or post. I just wanted to see if like I have a new group starting. I want to kind of talk to you about what I'm doing and I didn't know if you'd want to join, blah, blah, blah. You could say something like that. So kind of watch out on Facebook for stuff, for posts like that might be a good way for you to kind of slide in and maybe at least meet somebody that way. I'm not saying you're going to sell them a challenge pack, but at least you can meet somebody that way. And it's not like you're going to go straight for the sale on it, but you know, like, hey, I just saw your post or saw your comment, and I want to just tell you a little bit about what I've been doing or whatever. Or nice to meet you or whatever you want to say. That's one thing. And then I like to just go through my friends, and sometimes I'll forget like that I'm friends with somebody that I haven't invited. And I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot. I should send her an invite. Or, you know, or maybe last time I saw her name come up, I was like, oh, I better not ask her because she just, I don't know, she's going through a divorce or something like I know about her that I'm like, I better not ask her right now. Now might not be a good time. So if you continuously go through your friends list too, I think that'll help. Of course, you're going to be tracking. You're going to be keeping track of all that. But I like to just go to my friends list and just kind of see. And it's a good way too to follow up with people because it'll spark your memory and it'll get you to do like, you'll be like, oh yeah, I talked to her about Country Heat or whatever, another program back in the day. You want to send her a quick message and just ask how she's doing. It's a good way to send out those just connection messages where you're not selling anything, you're not inviting them to anything necessarily. It could turn into an invite, but you're just messaging them and asking how you're doing. I think it can mean something so much to somebody when you just literally ask them, how are you doing? Because that shows that you care, and you don't have to type a big message, but just enough just to say, how are you? I think that speaks a lot for some people, and they appreciate that. Okay, less than a minute here. Anything else real quick?
A lot of people too are going to they're going to be seeing your posts. They're going to be seeing you regularly working out. They're going to be seeing your positivity. It's not really going to so much help you at first, but you're going to start getting a lot of positive feedback from people that may be somewhere down the line that it might help you. They might want to jump on board. I've gotten so much feedback from people saying, oh, I started running again because of you, or I started this again because of you. And even though it's not like, oh, they want to jump on my team right now, you know, they may very well want to sometime, but you're inspiring people to do other things, and that's cool.
Yes, that's awesome. I agree. You don't even know who you're inspiring. I don't think you even realize it, because and the positive reinforcement that you get from people like that is going to keep you going. So lean on that when you're feeling like, nobody will buy anything, and I can't get anybody in my group or no one to join me, or I feel like nobody likes my posts. They do. They just aren't liking your posts, but they do like them. So
not only that, but when you're posting, like every time you post, that puts you that much further ahead. Yes. If that makes sense. When you take a day off or you take 3 days off or whatever, that's going to set you back 3 days behind.
Yes.
So you always have to keep on track of everything, because otherwise you're going to be that much far behind.